And we are live. Oops,
Hey
I forgot
everyone.
to change your name. No, they can hear you. Don't worry.
Okay, hey everyone. It's Ultra Podcast Z. It's your boy Manuel over here doing that I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say there. I was gonna say no joke, I'm not kidding with you. In my head, the first thing that was trying to pop out of my mouth was doing that stem cell research, and I don't know why I was thinking of that. Like, why did my brain go to that? I don't do stem cell research. Don't quote me on that. Hi everyone, I'm Manuel. I'm just gonna start again. Okay, Nyaru, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nyaru. I haven't been on this podcast in a while because life has been fucking me up. But despite my ankle being fucked up right now, I'm still here. So I should get a round of applause for that. Thank you.
I know. I heard you sprained your ankle.
Yeah, I slipped on ice.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing. That you. Sorry, I didn't get it out.
It's
Okay.
ridiculous, I know.
Yes. I'm not laughing for the church. I'm just laughing at the situation that it happened. So were you just like going outside your driveway, like covered in ice, and you just like, oops, I'm on my butt now?
No, it was actually just like this little patch of it. The thing is I was like going from a very dark bedroom to the light. So my eyes were adjusting while I was walking outside. And then Yoshi pulled me, tried to stop him from pulling me while also walking. And then the combination of everything, I didn't notice this little piece of like black ice, and I just slipped and fell on my ass and my ankle. Ow, it doesn't hurt as much today, which I'm pretty happy about. So
Well, you're still young. I'm at that age where if I fall, I'm like, no, my hip, protect the hip,
my
tuck and roll.
leg.
No, but that yeah, you haven't been here for a while. Last week we talked fantasy, and the week before that we talked Super Bowl stuff. You missed a lot of stuff. You missed wait, you were here for Valentine's Day. You missed everything else though.
I didn't even watch the Super Bowl, so I don't care.
We mainly talked about the commercials. Nobody watches the Super Bowl.
Wait, y'all watch the commercials?
Well, I did you say commercials?
Yes, I said commercials.
Oh no, you said commercials. I'm just making fun of your pronunciation that one time.
Oh, fuck you.
See, I'm Manuel. I do stem cell research and make fun of people the way people pronounce certain words. Even though I'm upset when people make fun of the way I pronounce certain words. So I'm a hypocrite. Hi everyone. JD, save us from this nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, never mind.
Anyway. What have you been watching, doing whatever, Nyaru?
I've been
Playing?
watching Grey's Anatomy. Okay, hear me. I've been watching Grey's Anatomy, and then I was watching Lucky Star right now. Actually,
The anime?
yeah. Well,
Oh man.
rewatching it. It's been a good throwback for me, honestly.
Lucky Star, is that the well, let me look this up. I think this is if it's what I'm thinking it is. Oh, I'm thinking about Lost Universe. Never mind. Okay. Don't ask me how I got those two confused. I guess just
Yeah.
like the L. Yeah, this is not what I was thinking of. I mentioned Lost Universe because when I was a weeb and learning Japanese, like for the first time, like taking J1 like ages ago in junior college, I our professor suggested that we bring manga in, and I brought in like I went to a book off, which if you don't know, it's a used bookstore, Japanese used bookstore, and there's a certain book off in Torrance that only sells Japanese stuff. So I went into one and bought a Lost Universe manga, and for some reason, like 10 years later, I confused it with Lucky Star. I've never seen this.
Anyways,
I have seen these characters, though. They're the cute little Digi looking motherfuckers. Those two girls. Anyway. Yeah. I watched the Sonic movie. Have you seen the Sonic movie, Nyaro?
I have actually the new one or the most
Yes.
recent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to be fair, I watched it when it not when it came. Well, it was the last movie in theaters, if you remember, before the world went to shit. Basically, the last big movie, and already at the time, I was like, I'm not gonna watch it in theaters. And I'll be honest with everyone, I watched it through means that I won't repeat here, but I watched it, and I was like, I didn't think too much of it, but I decided to give it another shot recently, and also I could watch it like more legit, like in the comfort of my home and whatever. And like, well, I was at home when I watched it, but like a good version. So I was like, I'm gonna watch it and judge it again because they're coming out with a sequel. So Nyaru, did you like the movie?
As a Sonic fan myself for the good
Yeah.
majority of my life, like I honestly enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are like too cool to say that they enjoyed it, but I liked it for what it was. And I thought it was very cute, and I am really excited to see my best boy
Tails?
in the yes, he's my best boy. I love him.
You,
Um
you just want the doll, the evil Tails doll.
It's not even gonna make an appearance. I'll be real with you. I've given up on that little motherfucker appearing, but no, I'm still excited to see Tails and Knuckles, and hopefully, like, um, if it gets popular more, we can see what do you call it? More characters being added, like Amy and maybe like Shadow and Rouge, and like all the other cool characters. That's what I'm trying to say.
Big the cat. Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
it's funny, like, I remember, like, at some point, I was like, "Hey, I really hope they bring Sally Acorn," and I learned this is mildly off topic, I'll get back to the movie in a second, but I learned that apparently all the fucking Archie comics characters, I guess Sally Acorn's one of them somehow, are, like, in some weird legal loophole or something about rights. N
Mhm.
so I'm just like, "Oh god." I'm like, "Okay, I guess that's never gonna happen." But yeah, anyways, I watched the movie, and, it was okay, first of all, I wanna say it was alright. I didn't hate it. It was a good movie. But
Mhm.
my big confusion is, why does everyone love this one, but don't like Super Mario Brothers, the old movie? I think you like Inyara, right? I don't know if you've ever seen Super Mario Brothers.
I haven't seen it in full, but it does have a lot of soul to it, and I love a good soulful movie.
I loved the movie, and I always thought it was weird, and everyone's big complaint is like, "Oh, it's different from the games." I don't think Sonic can get any more different from the games. Uh, I'll admit that I don't know if you remember this scene, but there was a scene where Sonic gets his shoes, where this little girl gives him her shoes. I mean, okay, pronouns. This little girl gives Sonic her shoes, and like she has like I don't know why she has shoes like that lying around her house. It's like, here, Sonic, some new shoes, and he puts them on. He starts running, and I'm like, and they're like, Sonic's red, mostly red with white like accent shoes. That was a good
Mhm.
scene. I was like, "Okay, I fucking that was good." And I'm not gonna lie, that happened towards the end. I'm like, "Okay, you kinda won me over, movie." But I implore anyone to go watch it now. Jim Carrey's Robotnik is the weirdest character ever. And I don't mean like he acts badly in it or he's like, doesn't do the role justice. That that's up to judgment. But what I mean is he has no reason to be there. If you go to Wikipedia, it says that he's there because he's chasing Sonic because he wants to like get his power to take over the world with it. He
Mhm.
never says that in the movie. And I actually went back and I'm like, no, 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 I must have missed it. And I went back and I watched every scene he was in. He never has any character motivation. Um, I told a friend this, like, oh, that movie went through a lot of problems and they cut things out. I'm like, you don't cut out the reason the villain's doing anything. So yeah, maybe you didn't notice Nyaru, and I definitely didn't notice the first time I watched it
I
because
didn't notice at all, actually.
yeah, you just assume Robotnik and Sonic. Robotnik's just chasing Sonic because that's what Robotnik does. But if you really watch it as a movie, and I haven't heard no one point this out, there's no reason for him to still be chasing them. He's evil. He's there. He's evil. What else do you need? I need plot. I need plot. That's what I need, and it's not there. I don't know. Besides that, it's funny because they complain about how it's different from the movie, but when Sonic has that list of like his bucket list of things he wants to do,
Mhm.
I wanted to see more of that. All they did was they got into a bar fight, and I was like, it. And I'm like, I want to see more of that. I want to see him go like eat the world's biggest steak. I don't think that was on his list, but shit. Like I want to see a montage, and they didn't do that. I thought that was upsetting. I don't know. Um, I am excited for Tales though. I'm still excited for the sequel. Also, I rewatched the old trailer just out of curiosity. I'm like, is that as bad as what everyone thinks it is? Do you remember the old Sonic design?
I do remember it.
It was bad. he
I
he
still think
had
it was a marketing stunt.
honestly, like, it kinda feels that way because it's like, there's no way someone approved this, like, this has to go through so many checks, and he looked vaguely humanoid because he had, like, this weird nose. Honestly, it's a nose, his eyes were smaller, but he had this weird humanish nose that just looked weird. It was, like, small and pointy like this. And I was just like, kind of like the way you imagine like a Pinocchio type nose. And I'm like, what is that nose? Like, how did someone look at this and like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off millions and millions of dollars on this. But also I'm excited in the sequel. Hopefully, Robotnik comes back because have they talked about Robotnik coming back?
He's in the
But
trailers.
oh, he is.
Yes.
Did we watch the same trailer? I mean,
I
I know
could've
I know Jim Carrey's obviously in the movie, but is he like the only villain? Anyways. I like how JD broke his silence to tell me how stupid I am. Be- because I was mildly annoyed the first time I watched the movie, and mind you, I already knew this in the first viewing, so this isn't anything new. But I was mildly annoyed that he didn't look like Robotnik, and I'm like, that's such an easy thing to do. But then he does by the end, and I'm like, oh, so I guess next movie we'll get a real Robotnik.
Mm-mm-mm. I think
But
this is
yeah.
more like a setting up the universe, like setting up the whole movie universe that's going to be taking place in, versus like, everything else.
I never put that we were live anywhere. Hold on. Oh man, that's funny. Hold on, I never put a live status update anywhere. Anyway, um, I other than that, I will say that the movie was good. It had a lot of memes in it. I'm sure you like that, Nyaru.
Oh, Fortnite dance. Sonic did not need to exist in my
Okay,
head.
I actually forgot about that. That was cringe. That was cringe. But I mean that like Sonic was in it. All the gotta go fast and like everything like that was in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really Fortnite dance Sonic though.
Oh, and then the Sonic 2.
Oh yeah, that's so random, and it's funny because
No,
I try
it
to look.
wasn't.
It kind of is. Like, at what point do people? And I've actually seen many video essays on this. At what point do people like not own the memes anymore? Because I think we know. I mean, we know who drew Sonic 2. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that person. But we know who drew Sonic now. And I'm like, did they get paid for this? I don't think they got paid for this. I'm pretty sure that Paramount just like screwed them over or something. But
Yeah, no.
we'll never know. But anyways, that's my thing. Did you know they're making a Knuckles TV series?
Are they now?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Paramount Plus too. And they already greenlit the third movie, even though the second was not even out. You weren't here when we talked about
I
this. There
mean,
was a,
I think the second movie's getting a lot of positive reactions, so I'm not surprised.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to the second movie a lot more, and that's actually why I went back to watch the first because I'm like I want to be those people. That person is like, oh, I need to watch all 20 MCU movies. There's only one Sonic movie, so yeah. Anyway, real topics today. Did you see all the new Pokemon that got announced? The Pokemon news, I
Dang.
should say.
Can I get some shout outs for Weed Cat? Let's go.
You know how fucking stupid I am? I was like,
Very.
why? Yeah, actually, it answers it right there. I'm like, why does everyone keep calling the Pokemon Weed Cat? I don't get it. I know it's grass. I know that, but no other Pokemon got called Weed, Lizard, Weed. Whatever the fuck else they were. And I'm like, why do they keep calling this one Weed Cat? And then somebody pointed out that there's like the leaf pattern on its face.
Yes. Yes. There you go, Manuel. You got it.
He's
I didn't
learning.
know. I didn't notice that, guys.
He
Oops.
learned in. He learned in.
I will admit though, the weed cat thing looks a little. I mean, the weed cat thing, the whole, what's his name? Something. What the fuck is that cat's name? Um, uh, uh no, Quaxel's the fucking duck. Hold on, weed cat's Pokemon. I actually had to Google weed cat. Sprigatito.
Spear Gatito. That's his name.
Sprigatito. Gatito.
Because it is all based off Spain this time,
Yeah.
apparently.
Apparently, it's all like Iberian-y. Like it's like meant to be like Spain, Portugal. I guess Mediterranean-y could be a better way. It's Europe, Spanishy, Latin-y. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, you love a pronunciation. Fuecoco and Quaxel, which Quaxel, I'm calling it now. And first of all, that's a duck that everyone hates. But I'm calling it now, obviously, because and I know that they're going for the quack thing, but that's gonna become like a fucking how do you pronounce it? Oh, actually, they hope they don't do this because that's actually culturally inappropriate. I'm actually really gonna say it. I was gonna mention the Quetzalcoatl thing, but that's Mesoamerican,
Yeah,
so
and that's
that would be
Quetzal.
wrong. Huh?
It's
Quetzal.
Quetzalcoatl, isn't it? There's a
There you go.
T in
I'm
there.
mispronouncing it. I'm anyway. So maybe that's not gonna happen. But I'm definitely picking Fuecoco. Who are you picking, Nyaru?
Mm, I think I'm picking the wee cat, Spiagatito.
But I'm not gonna lie, the wee cat does look cute. I remember I was gonna say like a long time ago when I lost train of thought. It does feel like the grass version of Litten. That's his name right? Yeah, Litten. It looks like the grass version of Litten, and it feels a little lazy. Um, my favorite thing. First of all, have you seen much complaints about this game, Yara?
Hmm.
I
The
haven't.
only
That's the
complaint,
thing.
no, the only complaint I've been seeing is apparently someone was really upset that the eye was crooked on
Oh.
Spiagatito.
Oh my god. Okay, some people are crazy. First of all, one of my art friends, and I don't want to dox them a bit, mention who they are. One of my friends who does a lot of art stuff was really getting on the defensive about it. Like they retweeted it and they were like arguing with people about like, no, it's just good art. I'm like, yeah, it's good art advice. For those who don't know, apparently one of the eyes is off, and there's a tweet going
Mm-hmm.
around that artists should flip their art to like, as in like
Yes.
so yeah, so you could tell when things look wrong because that's an easier way to notice. Like, oh, when you flip it, maybe you'll catch something different. Like, oh, okay, that's off. And I'll be real. When I saw the post, I didn't see what was wrong, and then I even saw a post where they corrected it, and I'm like, "What did you guys correct?" And it wasn't until I went to the comments and the mentions and all that shit that I saw that his eye was crooked. So obviously, I am oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel, we can't hear you.
Oh, you
Oh
can't hear
no.
me.
Now
Oh
we
no, there he
can.
goes. Now we can.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
said
I heard
oblivious,
the
and then you stopped talking.
go off. Yeah.
wait, what did I say? What was the last thing I said?
You're
You said your
oblivious.
mom?
Oh yeah, I'm oblivious, but surely no one's gonna notice that. That's it. Yeah, your mom, Nyaru. Your mom's oblivious. Oh, my mic sucks. Yeah, sorry guys, my mic's been having issues. I need to figure out what's wrong with it. I keep thinking it's the cord, but I put a new cord in and it's still doing it. So either it's the soundboard or it's the mic. Oops. I'll figure it out later.
Ooh.
Spicy. Speaking of spicy, Coco's a crocodile who's also a chili pepper. And also going on about Manuel being oblivious, I didn't realize he was a pepper until people kept beating it into me. And I'm like, how is he a pepper? I don't see it. That's racist because he's like, it's like,
Yeah, I thought he looked like an apple. To me, he
well,
looked like an apple.
he has a stem, so I will give it that. But like Nyaru said, it could be an apple, but he does have a stem. He has a stem on his head, and the internet's going crazy about fucking Sprigatito. That everyone's all like, "Oh, you like he better not stand up. This Pokemon better stay on all fours." Uh, what do you think about the trainer designs, Nyaru?
The trainer designs.
Everyone says that they're bland. I don't think we're complaining about them, but everyone doesn't like that they're kind of like not an anime design.
I like them personally. I was just thinking about it right now. Yeah, I like them. Fuck everyone else, what everyone else thinks.
They're cool. I don't know. People like to complain, and I saw the perfect meme for it, where it was all like, what was the meme? The meme was all like, it's like, God, I'm so tired of Game Freak making all these Pokemon games and changing everything. And the next thing is like, "God, here, Game Freak, here's my $60. Take my money and leave me alone." Because everyone complains, but everyone still buys the games. To be fair, I will say that I've seen the least complaining this time around than other games. Also, this has not really became too crazy. Like nobody's really reported on this, so maybe when it becomes a bigger news story, they'll complain. There's still no national dex in this game, and they've already announced this. For some reason, nobody's really like repeated it yet. But it's another one of those games like the way Sword and Shield was, where it only has the Pokemon in the game. So I don't know. People are gonna get upset. I'm sure when they
Yeah.
discover that, but they're all still gonna buy it. I'm calling it. It's gonna be like the biggest game on the Switch when it comes out. So yeah. I mean, I've already decided. I'm gonna get Scar. And I'm gonna get Violet because I like purple. I don't even care who the legendary is. Everyone likes to wait for the legendary, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna get Violet, just because. Do you have a one picked, or are you gonna wait for the legendaries to get announced?
Mm, I'm picking Wee Cat.
No, the game.
Whatever Wee Cat is in, I'm picking that game.
Jesus.
So I'm
He's
getting
just
both is what I'm
okay.
trying to
It's gonna
say.
be you're getting both. I have friends who
Mhm.
get both, and then they're like, I have friends who complain about the series, and they still buy both games every fucking like what do you call it? Generation. It's fucking annoying. Anyways, lots of Pokemon bullshit. Have you seen the Tinder skitty nonsense that's been going on the internet?
I have not actually.
You haven't. So, I don't know how deep in the Pokemon lore you know. I didn't know this until like I was looking up where this came from. Apparently, it's been a thing in the games for a long time that Skitty and Skitty, that fucking like the cat Pokemon with the swirl,
Yes.
yeah, Skitty and Wailord being the giant whale Pokemon, um, they can breed. Like you could put them, I guess they're in the same egg group or whatever, and they could breed with each other in the game. I've never bred other Pokemon. Like, I'll just get another Skitty, I'll get a Ditto. Like, I'll never breed random Pokemon like that, but I guess some people realize, "Oh, they're the same age group," and, so
And
s
they're
an
also
artist got it. Huh?
one of the tiniest Pokemon and
Oh, yeah.
like the
One of the
largest
big
Pokemon.
yeah, and so artist got it in his head. I don't know where exactly it started from, like, oh, like, this whole thing about like basically there's this a couple, and it's like all about their like adventures, Tinder Skitty and Waylord. And Tinder Skitty is kind of like this how would you describe her? She's very modern, a very modern hipster y girl, like the more aggressive of the two. And then Waylord's a lot more like prim and proper. And like there's even one of the comics where like where Skitty goes to go meet Waylord's family, and they're just like other Waylords who are just like, and they're all big, and yeah, it's the whole idea. Like the fucking Waylord is like gigantic, and then Tinder Skitty is like the small cat, and they're a couple. And it's funny because like the original comic this guy did, and the story in the comic are very, very sweet, very tame, and yeah, you can look up porn of it too. And I can't help but wonder, part of me wants to ask, but I don't want to dig too deep. How much of this the Skitty Waylord porn was old?
Oh my god, don't ask that.
And how much of it's like only because now, but like some of it I'm like, don't, I'm not gonna say why. Don't ask the whys. But I've kind of gone down this rabbit hole of Pokemon art, we'll say.
Why?
Uh because it intrigued me how much
Mhm.
of it there was. And like I honestly never understood this. I don't know if you I never thought that Lopunny, am I saying that right? The fucking
Lopunny, yes.
yeah. I never realized that that character was such a sexualized Pokemon. Like I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just like it's funny because now I'm saying I'm the basic bitch. When I played the game, I wasn't like, "Oh, that Pokemon's sexy," but apparently a lot of people saw her. Well, yeah, I think they're all female. Saw her and they're all like, "Oh, gotta do porn." And another one that strikes me crazy is it Gardevoir or whatever its name is, the fucking ice girl, the girl with like well, it's the Pokemon. It comes from one of those fucking Sneasel things, but it's like
Wait,
the girl, huh?
no, Gardevoir is a psychic type.
Wait, what's the one I'm talking about? There's an ice one that it looks like it looks like
Crossalas?
that's the one actually. I think. Um, apparently people sexualize pretty much if they're humanoid, they sexualize them, and it just blew my mind. I was like, really, really? And then I went down all these rabbit holes, and like, I even. I thought they were kind of weird. And there's this dude who does a whole comic series where he makes let's just say he's really friendly with this Ditto, and makes it into things, and I'm just like, "What the fuck? What do people think? Why does this all exist? Why are we alive?
Manuel, you
Why am
know the
I?"
rules of the internet.
But like, I know Rule 34 is a thing. I know it is. I know it is. But when I thought of, hey, I'm gonna go Google Pokemon, hentai. I honestly thought, foolish Manuel, that most of it would be like Misty or like fucking Cynthia. That's a trainer from Diamond and Pearl or whatever. The master would have fuck from
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl.
Or
People like
Sonia and Nessa from the new ones.
there you go. I was thinking something like that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I could see that, but people are all like, "Oh, Mewtwo with like, let's have sex with Mewtwo." I'm like, what? What is going on? What did I sleep through? And
You
yeah,
slept through a lot,
the internet.
Manuel.
I slept through the internet and creating porn for everything. I don't know. Is Manuel sharing his Pokemon furry fan? No, see, that's the funny thing. Because if you recall, Nyaru and I went down this furry rabbit hole a long time ago. And it's funny that Weston says that. Are people who like Pokemon, stuff like that, are they furries too? I
Your
don't
mom
know.
is a furry.
I've mentioned this in the past, but the very first time I ever heard the term furry in my life was because I was dating this girl a while back, a long time ago. It's not like recently, a long time ago, a while back. And she was I mentioned before, she's from Florida, so that makes this whole story a lot funnier. And her mom was dating, I guess, a famous furry, like somebody like big within the
Oh
furry
my
scene.
god.
Yes. Well, like, mind you, big within the furry scene. I don't mean like some YouTuber today. I mean like some guy who was known in like the late 2000s, the late aughts. So we're talking like probably like some older guy who was probably like wearing this nasty ass suit or whatever. Um, and they were dating, and I remember that was the very first time I ever heard the word furry. I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, it's disgusting. You don't want to know. And I don't think she ever told me. I had to find out on my own. But yeah,
Oh my god.
but yeah, she was dating a furry, and that's the first. So yeah, her mom was a furry, I guess, not mine though. Your mom's a furry,
Okay,
Nyaru.
Manuel, let's move on to other things. What are we talking about?
No, this is the Ultra Furry Podcast Z. Didn't you know? We're talking about we
Save
need
that
to
for
rate
Friday.
the Pokemon in level of attractiveness. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get canceled in any second now. I'm pretty sure that if we did that though, this video would do numbers on YouTube. If we did the next tier list,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if the next tier list was on like attractivity, whatever,
Attractiveness?
attractiveness. I don't know English. If the next tier list is on the attractiveness of Pokemon, we would do mad numbers. We should do that. I'm sure JD would not not want to be on that
Yeah, you're gonna have to find someone else to host it.
one. Who would be S tier, Nyar? You're on the spot. You would put Lopunny on there, wouldn't you, Nyar?
No, I put Gardevoir.
Who is Gardevoir? I gotta look up Gardevoir.
Are you
Green, white,
serious?
tall,
Oh yeah,
psychic Pokemon.
yeah. See, this is the other. This is another one that's all sexed up.
Yeah, that's
It's
why I thought
funny.
you were talking about it.
It's funny. I kind of want to Google who are the ones that are in most, like, who are the sexiest Pokemon. But I do not want that in my fucking search history. Actually, I'm gonna Google it. I'm curious now. I need to know. Hold on. Who? Oh, I put how.
Okay,
Who
Manuel,
or
you can do
wait,
that, but let's move on to a different topic, please.
I promise you that we'll move on after I do this. I need to. No joke. You know who the first one was? The first hit. Well, first of all, there's a list. I'm not gonna get into that. What's the name of the fucking Firefox, the starter?
Oh, Delphox? Like the
Yeah,
final
yeah,
evolution?
the final version where it's like, you know, a witch, or well, I guess it's
Yeah.
presumably, you know, if this is because they're holding a wand, that's that's here. Also a Machoke, and whoever this black and white one is, I have no idea who this black and white Pokemon is. The fuck is this? And then Lopunny's there. It's the goth one, the goth Pokemon.
Oh. Oh. Yeah,
She just like it's like Leslie.
it's not like Gotharita or something like that.
Yeah. Is Leslie in the chat? I just totally said that she looks like the. I'm gonna shut up now. I need to shut up. Oh, and this fucking flower one. I've seen so much for this one too. The one that's like it has long hair, but it's leaves.
Yes.
No, what is his name? Sarina. Pretty that's his name. Anyways, Nyaru. If anyone watches this out of I might censor some of this for like YouTube. Everyone watches out of context. Everyone thinks that I'm like a furry now.
Because you are a furry, Manuel. I'm sorry.
I mean, I might be a furry, but I'm not a Pokemon furry. There is a
I don't know about that, Manuel. I don't know.
there is a fur convention I really want to go to this year, and I'm like, I don't know if it'll happen anymore because of its of like its timing in the year, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Okay,
Good
Manuel,
luck,
please.
Manuel. Good luck.
For the love of all that is holy.
JD, it's fine. I'll invite you to the furry con. It's fine.
No,
You can
thank you.
come with me. Nyaru can come too. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll move on. I'll move on. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the Pokemon. I wanted to. We'll come back because I want to talk more about Pokemon, but now I feel like I kind of, what's the word when you like, I poisoned the well already. We can't go back and talk about our favorite Pokemon now that I fucking talked about which ones were the most attractive. Now everything I say will be sus.
It was already sus, Manuel. You don't have to worry about that.
You've been sus, Manuel.
Oh man, I will say last couple things I'll say about the get back to the real topic. I rewatched the trailer for Violet and Scarlet recently, right before this happened. And I will say the footage of the Pokemon in the wild looks kind of. It doesn't look jank as in it looks bad. It looks jank as in it looks like it came from Arceus, Legends Arceus. And I know, it's of course gonna run on the same engine or whatever, but it still just feels not that different from it.
Probably
But yeah,
also footage from an older build that was might have still been
that,
using
that's true.
old models too. Like if you see, I
Yeah,
think early trailers for, was it the new Lion King movie, the CG one? They have like animals that are just taken from the Jungle Book, and then in the movie they've been replaced with fully new animated ones.
you know how mad I am that the new Lion King movie was called the live action Lion King for so long.
Yeah, but that was by people on the internet, not Disney themselves.
Fair, but I'm just like, how is this live action? What happened to the live action Little Mermaid? Is that still being
It's
made?
still going.
Like I feel like it's COVID obviously, but I feel like that got announced like literally. Well, it definitely got announced like 3-ish years ago, but I feel like it got announced like 5 years ago and it's nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still an ongoing thing.
Anyway,
Oh yeah,
I said it
Emmanuel,
before.
there is
Yes.
actually one live action shot in that movie, and it's the first
Yep.
shot of the sun.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I remember we went to I went to Taiwan with a friend of mine. Went to the Taipei Zoo, and there's this in the middle of the zoo. There's this big thing of all the animals, a big a statue, but like it's kind of shaped like a mountain where all the like. I don't think it was implying that it was like that, but it looked kind of like a very Pride Rock looking thing, where there was like a rock thing, and
Hmm.
there's all these animals there. There wasn't a lion at the top. I will say, I think it was a gorilla up there for some reason, but there's all these animals all around this little rock thing, and we did a Lion King thing, and we looked up the lyrics, and the Swahili lyrics to
Hmm.
Circle of Life, and no matter how many times I look those lyrics up, it feels like one of those like those weird thingies. I can't hear those lyrics in the song. I don't know, just anyways, that's just a personal thing. Well, in the movie, in the Broadway production, it sounds better pronounced, but I can't help but feel that whoever the fuck sang it in the movie version, and listen to Manuel, the expert on Swahili over here, whoever
Yes.
sang it in the movie version didn't enunciate properly, because once again, Manuel's the expert in Swahili. Come cancel me later on. It's fine. It's fine. I'm here for
Oh,
canceling.
Manuel,
Yes.
they're in Zulu, not Swahili.
Oh God, was that racist?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was kind of racist,
to,
Manuel.
to be fair, I know for a fact that almost all the character names are in Swahili. So I assumed, ass out of you and me, I know. I assumed that the song lyrics would have been in Swahili as well. Oops. That was racist. Shout
Yeah,
out to the
and
four.
the guy who sang the Zulu parts is from South Africa, so I'm assuming he grew up
Oh,
at least
I'm
hearing
just
Zulu.
racist. I'm just racist. There you go. God damn it. God damn it, JD. First I'm a furry, now I'm a racist, and I'll never live the internet down. Anyway, talk about Lopenny's sexy ass later. But what's funny is I didn't mean her ass. I just meant I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm
Yes,
gonna stop.
please.
I want to stop. Did Nyaru, did you see that there's a company trying to bring back Yaoi paddles?
Yes, I did, and I'm very excited.
I'm not gonna lie, I am too. The hot take there. You might think I'd be like, don't like. Part of me is like, and don't get me wrong. I commented on the tweet where I was like, this is a mistake. I'll buy one. Like I want to support it. Now it's worth mentioning. I'll say this now. The company that originally sold the Yaoi paddles, the Hendanet people, they're apparently trying to send them a cease and desist. They're like, we didn't approve this. This is our thing, and like this might get me canceled because like the anime content's not that big, but I'm 99.9% sure. First of all, I know for a fact they didn't trademark that because there were bootlegs of it back then,
Mhm.
bootlegs, quote unquote. But I'm like, I don't think you can. Like by their own admission, they own like they bought the paddles from like a manufacturer, and they were left with them, and then they just etched yaoi onto it. And I'm like, I know you want to think like you made it popular, but you don't own that design. Like, it's such a basic thing to do. So I just find that funny. And that might be my hot take of the year getting me canceled amongst like, all these like people. Um, but it's funny because like there was this video about the Yaoi paddles by Red Bard, I think it's
Yes.
their name.
Mm-mm.
And I've said it before. That video is inaccurate because, well, maybe it's accurate to like the internet and to like East Coast conventions, maybe. But she mentions how they were banned really early on. I'm like, you would still see those like in the beginning of A to J days, like in 2014 or whatever. You would still see a yaoi paddle here and there,
I
and they were
mean, in California, I can see it, but, like, I think she's mostly here in, like, the central,
yeah.
like, United States and East Coast, and
I think she's
back
Texas,
then
isn't she?
around
Yeah.
no, she's Oklahoma,
Oh,
and, like, back then, like, around that
no.
time, 'cause that's when I started going to cons. I remember strict policy about that, at least, like, local to our area and the
Yeah,
East Coast.
yeah, because apparently they debuted way earlier than I remember, like in 2004 or 6 or whatever. And according to that video, they like pretty much disappeared by like 2009 and 10. But I'm like, no, 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 no. I still saw them all the fucking time. And there were still people selling them. Like, I used to go to PMX a lot. Well, I still go to PMX a lot, but PMX is like a convention they used to be run at the LA convention at LAX Hilton, and where like where AX used to be in the 90s. And there were always people selling the yaoi paddles there, and I had never I recognized the Hendanet booth, but as far as I remember, I should say, Hendanet, as far as the West Coast goes, only goes to Anime Expo. So like, like whoever I would see selling it at like PMX or like Fanime or at whatever else, it would just be some random people, or it'd be someone at the swap meet. And so I don't know. I think that's weird that they're trying to claim ownership on it. I doubt that they'll be able to. Maybe they'll get enough like bad press that they'll like close the Kickstarter. Honestly, I don't know why there's a Kickstarter. Like you and I can buy a paddle and just like get one of those like wood burning pen thingies and just write yaoi on it
Mhm.
ourselves. Or
Scale,
not even
Manuel.
that. Huh?
Scale. Scale.
What? Is that what it's called?
I mean, you have to do it at a certain like scale. I mean, if you're doing it one at a time and charging higher prices, yeah, but I don't know
No,
what the price of one of these is.
what I meant was I didn't mean we'd sell them. I mean that we just make our own.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Callie, not that Callie like has, she might, but Callie was talking about like on the old DTL about those maker spaces or whatever they're
Yeah.
called. I've never been to one, but I'm sure we can go to one of those and like maybe guest with Callie. Or I think I have a friend of mine who also has a subscription to one, and just like guest with them. And I'm sure that place would have like a fucking wood burning thing, one of those tools. Anyway. That's my yaoi thing. Also, this is a fun time to mention that Ren, as in like Ren Bunny, on Twitter, our old buddy who's been on the podcast a bunch. She went viral. Remember that last year when she posted that like her dad had kept her her yaoi paddle and was using it for gardening.
I actually did not remember that.
Yeah, she went viral. I'll have a picture of the tweet on for the YouTube version, but she went viral last year because apparently she had thrown away her yaoi paddle. Like, also for the record, she threw her yaoi paddle away like a few years, like 5 years ago. And she's younger. Well, she's about your age. She's younger than me, and she knows yaoi paddles. So I'm like, they're not.
Mhm.
They didn't go away as old as Red Bart says they did. Anyways, um, she threw it away, and apparently her dad rescued it years ago from the garbage and has been using it to like garden with. And so she found it like yeah, it was like she found it in like she took a picture of it. It's like in the shed and it's all covered in dirt because it's all beat up because he uses it for whatever the fuck he uses it for. And
Mhm.
yeah, and that post went viral. Ren goes viral a lot for the weirdest things. It's weird. We need to have her on
It
again.
is kinda weird.
I haven't asked her in a while. I should ask her again. She's been busy again. Ugh, anyways. What am I canceled for this time? What did I, like? How do I close this topic and get myself? Oh, I already did. I said that we should steal the design. Yeah, fuck Hendane. I'm just kidding. Don't do that for Hendane. Might be good people. I don't know. I will say that Hendane, if you've never seen them, Nyaru, they're the booth that has like um all the yaoi dojinshi. It's mainly yaoi. All the yaoi dojinshi everywhere. Like these
Mhm.
long tables of dojinshi. If you've been to AX, you've seen their booth,
I
and they have all
mean,
the
that's still pretty. I mean, like, even before, like, cons stopped being a thing, that was, like, the thing that everyone, I think, saw, was, like, the long Dojin tables, and then you
yeah.
see, like, we need your ID to look at, like, the sexy 18 plus stuff.
Mm. I remember there was one year that AX was at the Disneyland Hotel, like the actual Disneyland Hotel, not in the Anaheim Convention Center. And um, who knows who the fuck like Disney mustn't like everyone who makes fun of like Disney stealing from fucking anime or whatever must must not have been working at Disneyland who let them go there because very famously, they did the first day, and then apparently somebody from the hotel like checked out the con that night and was like, "What the fuck? Like we can't have all this here." It's like we're not, and like some staffer had to go into the con the next day, and I actually heard this from the staffer who did it himself. So this isn't like a hearsay story. This is from the person who had to go and do it. He had to go to each and every booth in Artist Alley and in Exhibit Hall, like this, and this. You have to put them away. Like you can still sell them, but you can't have them displayed. Like anything, and it's not just like the obvious hentai. Like also just big titties. Like you had to put the titties away.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that was Anime Expo to the 2000 or 2001. I didn't go that year, so this is second. Well, this is secondhand from me, but I heard it from the actual source. Anyway, anyway, Funimation and Crunchyroll, they're merging
Oh,
finally.
yeah, I heard about that today, and it's funny, I just stole a Funimation account from someone.
Well, I'm confused by this because Crunchyroll went on the record and they're like, "Oh, all the content's over here, so feel free to cancel your Funimation account." Are they going away? Is Funimation going away too? Or are they going to exist cohabitively for a bit?
I
I'm not
think they're
sure.
all just merging
Uh,
into one
yeah,
company.
I think Crunchyroll is taking up the main banner in that sense. Funimation will probably still be around as the dubbing company or like the dubbing half of it.
Mm.
Uh, and I think their website will be up for a bit longer, just because it says they'll have like 80% of the shows by the end of uh, this year, 2022. So it might take a little while for the other 20 shows to either get licensed or have their licenses drop, and then they can drop the website completely.
It's so weird. I mentioned this before and people seem to forget about this. Um I I find it weird how the way companies merge like this because if I'm not mistaken, well, Sony owns all of them, right?
Yes.
And well, that part I'm not mistaken by, but the part I think I'm is Funimation started as Sony's anime branch here. So when they bought Crunchyroll, I just find it weird that rather than merge with their own in-house brand, they are merging with the one they bought. And I know that sounds like it makes sense, like why they buy it. But sometimes those purchases are just for the libraries or like, the domain or shit like that. But I just find it weird. I'm like, why merge with Crunchyroll? Like, and it's just so amazing that Crunchyroll was like this bootleg website where you would like go there to watch legally uploaded anime, and now it's the place to watch like anime, like pretty much the only place.
Yeah, I think it has a bigger subscriber base is the reason the merge is going that way rather than Crunchyroll into Funimation.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like obviously it has the bigger reach, but also all like the branding. Like you can't get what's her name, the fucking mascot, Hime
Hime.
something, or oh, it's really just Hime. That's basic, but yeah. I just imagine that. I don't know. I just find it weird. Uh, I think we have a free Crunchyroll account for press
Yes.
stuff. I've been to this before. That's not a big doxing thing. I think technically you could also watch Crunchyroll for free. I didn't know that until recently. Apparently, Crunchyroll you could just watch it for free. It just has ads.
Yeah.
Um, but
But
the account we
you're
have
generally on
obviously.
like a week delay from the simulcast.
Oh, is that what it is? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
And there are some shows that you have to have premium to watch.
Yeah, and technically, I was gonna say that also, like when you have this kind of like press account, you also get like the early shit will just come there. You don't have to like ask them for a screener. Like you'll just have access to like the new show when even before everyone gets it out, so you can review it. Anyway, I don't know if I should reveal that much of how that works. But I just wanted to point out that
access to the account, man.
yeah, we love Crunchyroll.
I'll
You need to
review
go to
it.
Crunchyroll Expo, Nyaru. You need to go to that con.
Okay.
I want to go back this year. It's a fun con, though, and I want to go back this year. But yeah, A fun fact: this, I will say that the Crunchyroll merger, just to give it a bit, to give it the other spin, Crunchyroll basically have a monopoly on anime now.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't count Netflix, what
mm,
else is
Amazon Prime with like,
yeah,
but
Amazon, whatever. They're still licensing Sentai, which just got bought out by AMC.
but a lot of them, it's like I think all of them equate to like what Crunchyroll is now, or all the other ones together. It's funny because I saw an article on it, and it's not even like a weeb article. It's like something from like um Wall Street Journal, Washington Press. I think it's Wall Street Journal actually was talking about how like who the fuck approves this shit, like
The,
whoever the fuck approves like these mergers, um they approved the Crunchyroll Funimation one obviously, but there was almost a double take afterwards because it was like, wait a minute, because I guess they just didn't realize that. And some people were saying that if like people were more knowledgeable on like the anime market, that merger might not have been approved.
yeah, but yeah, I could also see it as just a looking at it in general streaming terms, and then they fall way behind like Netflix, Disney Plus, and that kind of stuff.
But I'm pretty
And
sure if like Netflix, I mean, if Disney Plus were to buy Netflix, that probably wouldn't be approved.
yes, but
Um,
those are streaming in total rather than you're trying to look at it as streaming anime as being like the market. I think they were looking at it as just streaming in total.
Also, this is getting really into the weeds here, and I'm sure I'm going to lose like Nyaru at the very least. No offense, I just kind of low key called Nyaru stupid. I love you, Nyaru, but
Blech.
there apparently what it really violates is the vertical integration, because Sony is producing a lot of the stuff that they're also distributing themselves. It's and supposedly some people are looking at that as a new way of like studios can't own theaters, which was a huge issue like in the the 20s and 30s. And everyone's like,
Mhm.
Sony's violating that with this whole merger because now they own everything from the top to the bottom. And you might be like, yeah, of course they do. That's technically not the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, no, it's not supposed to. That's not how
Yeah,
any of this is not supposed to work like
yeah,
this.
but
Yeah.
didn't they loosen those restrictions though recently? Because I thought
Yes.
there was
Thank you
something
for bringing
about
that up. Thank you for bringing that up. They did loosen them, and that's all very controversial. And everyone and some people are like, Sony had a big part of that actually, and not just because the anime, also because of the movie studios. Um, they had a big part of that too. And everyone's all like, wait, we set up these restrictions so that these media companies weren't so fully vertically integrated. That's the word, by the way. They weren't all vertically integrated, but now pretty much all the companies are. Like Sony literally goes, they produce the anime, like they make it, they own the studios that are making it, then they dub it, then they sell it like around the world, and they also control like who can watch it where. And it's like it's not supposed to work that way. Not supposed to. But yeah, it's a complicated thing, and I'm not saying it's illegal because it clearly isn't. Don't sue me, Sony. And and it's funny because we just got a presser from Sony for something else today. Please keep sending us that. We still want to work relationship with Sony. Love you, Sony. It just brings up questions. It brings up questions. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Crunchyroll's app. Excuse me.
I'm not even a
Um,
fan of the Funimation app. That thing has been a nightmare to work with.
Yeah, we
what
actually used to have a free Funimation one. I think we still had it actually. We might still have it actually. But we had a free Funimation account too for similar reasons, and I could never really get it to work properly on most things.
Oh, I'm just
Um,
wondering, what are you two like trying to play it on?
My
well,
TV.
Oh,
yeah, I would try to play it like through my TV too, like not through like a PS whatever, like on my TV. And I also try to run it through
Mhm.
my Kindle. And like, first of all, navigation's wonky as fuck in most of these apps, and I think even Crunchyroll has something
Honestly,
to
I
like.
think it's just if you don't have an Apple device or a
Yeah,
game station, fuck you.
Well, it's
yeah, or
yeah,
said game
TVs
station.
are produced really cheaply, so they don't have like the best parts when it comes to running apps and stuff. They just kind of do that to throw on the smart TV label,
Well,
which is
they should
another
still
reason why
put some
apps suck
care
on them.
into it.
Yeah,
It's the
fucking
only thing I'm really upset about. Why I have not paid for any Crunchyroll or anything like that, because I like watching things on my TV. But if they're not going to put the effort into,
I mean, you can buy
kind
like a
of. Hmm?
$20 Fire Stick and just stick it in and watch Crunchyroll on that. It should work well.
no.
Nah,
Wait, but
man.
to be
I can just
fair,
use I should be able to just use my phone, not buy
yeah, to be
anything
fair,
else.
Okay, you
also
can watch
like
on your phone.
I haven't tried the Fire Stick option, but if it's anything like the Kindle, it doesn't work that well there either. I don't know if you have a Fire Stick, JD, but like
I haven't tried it on a Fire Stick. I use an Apple TV and it works fine for me, both of them.
for some reason, for some
Apple
weird
TV, that's
reason,
why, because most
look
companies
at
only care
you.
about Apple shit.
Yeah, as well say like you know how much it annoys me whenever I see all like the fucking Apple support for everything. I'm like, I don't know,
Mhm.
Well,
the I support.
yeah, I mean it's an easily standardized set rather than whatever OS and chips your
It's not
TV
really
Android
producer
is
decides to
standardized.
hard
throw in.
to You're saying that Android is a hard OS?
Because there are so many different versions on like so many different possible operating systems or chips that and setups that the TVs are using. There's normally like one standard set. It just makes it really difficult, and that's why they cut like support for ones really quickly. That's why I just prefer using like an Apple TV that's from 8 years ago, I think, and it still works fine.
I remember the only time I ever had an Apple TV, I hacked the fuck out of it so I could like watch. Should I be saying this? But I was able to like watch all the I forgot what the fuck it was. I was able to watch like every like cable channel. This is like ages ago before there was all these services for all these channels too, and just watch them all for free. And a friend of mine was like, "Wow, how do I get this?" And he's like, "Wait, is this legal?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this Crunchyroll Funimation thingy. Um, uh, I'm mixed on it. Go buy Sentai too. I don't know,
Buy
man.
it from AMC because they just bought it.
AMC has to be on its last legs too, right?
I think it's the group that owns it. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I don't know. All I know is whenever Sonic 2 comes out, I'm not seeing that in theaters. So I mentioned this in the past that this might be a controversial take, but when theaters like close, like when all this, I'm sorry, when theaters closed for the pandemic and when they reopened after they started reopening slowly, and then people were like rushing to them and whatever. I'm like, what's all this theater nostalgia? I fucking hate theaters. It is the worst way to if it was an empty theater or maybe just a theater with me and my friends, but most times theaters are a horrible place to watch a movie. I can't imagine watching Sonic because I imagine there'd be kids there too, like a lot of kids, and like
Ugh,
yeah,
stinky.
and like I remember I went to go see Zootopia with some friends of mine, and that was one of the most annoying theater experiences I've ever had in my life, and it wasn't a nice theater, as in like we had like a lot of
It
space, the
was the
seats were
Fuji
tiny, yeah.
Theater?
Yeah, it was one of those really, really nice fancy theaters, but it was still one of the worst experiences because there were kids literally in the row in front of us, and there was even this theater didn't even have many rows, they were really like wide, but the row in front of us, there was kids just running around the whole fucking movie. And I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And like behind us, like way in the back, there were kids just throwing popcorn and things at each other. And I was like, and I mean kids. I'm not talking about like teenagers. I'm talking about like fucking, you know, 5-year-olds and shit like that. And I'm like, oh. And then there was a kid that started crying the second the lights went off, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I mean screaming, crying. It was, I don't know. Um. Anyways, anyways, I don't know. When I was a kid, if I did that, my parents would take me out of the theater
And
at best.
they would
Yeah,
spank you.
I was gonna say, like, I'm not gonna get into the next part. Like, I would definitely get a spanking too, but at the very least, I mean, they would take me out of the theater, and I'm like, can you at least take your kid out if your kid's screaming? It's like I'm not gonna get into the whole argument about like corporal punishment or whatever the term would be, but can you at least remove the child from the theater, please? Please, please. I'm trying to watch Zootopia here. This movie's terrible. Actually, that movie wasn't that bad. Remember the sloth that goes really slow?
Oh, I
Um,
love that sloth.
that fucking sloth. I'm not gonna lie though, it kind of pissed me off watching it because like watching it in real time, like in a theater, because you can't like fast forward it or do whatever. It was really pissing me off the way he was really moving slow in real time. I'm like, oh my god. It's like, can this movie move? Just move on. Anyways. JD, I will
Manuel, it's the
remove you from the
DMV.
theater. Yes, I will remove you from the theater if you're crying in a movie.
Oh, I'm trying. Well, Manuel, I guess I would have been removed from Bell because that's the last one I cried
Oh,
at.
it's funny you bring that up actually too. And I'm not sure what's wrong with me these days. I obviously didn't cry during Sonic, but I don't know what's wrong with me these days if I'm just old and like a fucking boomer now or something. But my cry reflex in movies has stepped up to like an insane amount. I've talked about this in the past. Like it could be the cheesiest thing. It could just be like, I'm not gonna be wrong, I'm gonna be bawling, but I'll be like wiping a tear from my eye, and I'm just like, I would hate to be at a theater when that happened. Not because I'm embarrassed, like, oh, a guy crying, but I'm just embarrassed that I'd be crying over something stupid. It's like if it was something actually moving, but I cry over some stupid shit sometimes, and I'm like, okay, Manuel, you need to you need to look at your life. anyways, anyways, uh, I will say I rewatched the new Bill and Ted movie. You should go watch that if you want to watch a movie that came out during the pandemic that like got weird reception. I mean reception, weird attention because of when it came out. So yeah, watch that. Anyways, did you know Hitomi Tanaka's retiring, Yara? I know JD's gonna talk about this, but I'll talk about it anyway. Nyaru, your mouth is like, ah, you're
Oh,
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
sorry. My thing was mute because I was typing. Yeah, no, I heard about that. I am very depressed, actually.
It's funny because I looked up more info on it. Um, she started during Gravure like in 2007. I know this is a weird thing to be like nostalgic over, but like I literally followed her since then. Basically, I didn't follow her like I like watched everything she put out, but I watched some of those early shit because it was like I was like really into Gravure back then. If you don't know what Gravure is, it's not porn; it's just like bikini shit. And started doing porn in 2008 ish, and so she's been in this industry for like 14 years or some shit. That's insane. It's a long ass time. But yeah, her next video in April is gonna be her last, and I think it's already been filmed, so it's like it's done. And she's still gonna stream though, because she streams video games on Twitch and shit like that, or maybe it's YouTube. But yeah, it's funny because on FAP I talked about, which is the 18 plus podcast, which has not come back from hiatus. Hopefully it will after DTL. We'll see. But that I talked about it then. I thought she was gonna retire last year because there was this huge gap between releases. And the ironic thing is that when I said I think she's gonna retire, she only did 3 more movies, this upcoming one being one of them. So I do think that that huge gap was like her thinking about retiring, and then she probably maybe she had a contract to
Mm-mm.
fulfill. Yeah, she probably had a contract to fulfill. Her company was probably like, "You owe us 3 more movies." So she probably just did those, which is always a weird thing to think about because sure that makes sense in a Hollywood perspective or in any other perspective. It's like, yeah, you owe us an album, you owe us a movie, you owe us a TV show or a season. But when you say you owe us a movie like in porn, that's sex. And you know what I mean? That just feels weird to me to like um and for the record, in case well, I'm not gonna get into that, but it's just weird that Japan has such a weird contracty industry for JAV. It's like something like they did in the 90s here in the US. But anyways. Yeah, she's retiring. We're still gonna do that stuff. Um, she, well, I'll say it now because the con's never happening and it's not coming back. She was supposed to be a guest at HentaiCon 2019, which never happened. Um,
Mm-mm.
and that was really upsetting. And we were all set to interview her. Like it was all on the back end already. Like, everyone knew she was gonna come. Um, this was the year after Shibuya Kaho was getting really big on the convention scene. So it's like, okay, now Hitomi Tanaka is gonna come into the anime convention scene because she's already been like, if you went to like the AVN's adult video, award, all the porn conventions, she would often be at those. But it's like, oh, she's gonna come to an anime convention. I know it's hentai, but still, that could be like her, like, you might have seen her at Anime Expo or whatever. She could have been another Kaho, like going to all the conventions. I don't know if we'll see that.
Mm.
I hope we do. I hope we still do. Because I've always wanted to interview her. It's always been a goal. It's a lofty goal. I guess maybe if she still goes to a porn convention, I'll just go to it, just to interview her.
Okay,
I don't
Manuel.
know. The
Another
titties,
topic.
though, JD, the titties.
My titty.
She has like gigantic titties. In case you don't, yeah. FYI, in case you go Google her, be careful because she has. Be careful.
She
Titties
has
are gonna hit you.
giant honkers.
Yes. She has the massive milkers. I'm gonna shut up now because now JD's gonna be like, Manuel, shut up.
Yes, please. Let's just.
Anyways, yeah.
It's 7:00. Start going through like the last stuff and then wrapping up.
I don't know. There's all this good shit to talk about. I wanted to talk more about Pokemon. I really did, but like part of me feels weird because I like that got a weird turn really fast. The yeah.
If only we
Nyara,
could
what's
get
your
rid of the
favorite?
person who made it weird.
Yeah, Nyara, why did you start bringing up hentai? We don't want to talk
Why
about
didn't you
fucking.
start bringing up hentai?
Classic
We
Manual
don't want to talk
deflection.
about how sexy Lopunny is. Come on, Nyara, what's wrong with you? It's a bunny. What are you saying? Anyways.
Yes.
I've always wondered, like, if you evolve a female, what the fuck is the fire bunny's name? The starter, Score Bunny.
Oh, Score Bunny. Yeah, sorry.
What the fuck is this ultimate? Anyways, if you remember, Score Bunny becomes like a soccer ball player. If you evolve, if it's a girl, is it just the same Pokemon? I'm gonna look this up real fast. What the fuck's the female Score Bunny? Because none of them really look different. Sorry,
I don't think there's
I don't.
any
Yeah,
difference
there's no difference
between their
It's
forms.
just a coloring thing.
Mm.
Anyways, sorry. I'm just like, I'm so, the internet has ruined me because my first reaction is maybe I should just start looking at hentai for this character and see what that looks like. And I'm like, Manuel, stop,
Yes, please.
stop. I actually love Score Bunny. That's one of my favorite Pokemon. A lot of people, when that game came out, Sword and Shield, when they revealed their starters, everyone's like, they look like Fakemon. And if you don't know what Fakemon are, those are like just fan-made Pokemon. And everyone said that about the duck this time around. We didn't even talk about the duck. The duck has like a pompadour. He has like a fucking pompadour, and everyone's like the fuckboy duck, and everyone says he looks like a Fakemon, and I'm like, everyone says that they all look like Fakemon. Just whatever. I did
You're a
learn.
Fakemon.
You're a Fakemon, Nyarumon. It's funny. I call you Nyarumon, even though Pokemon don't really do that. That's a Digimon thing, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't that a Digimon thing?
I don't know the difference. I'm that person. I'm that fan. Pokemon, Digimon, Monster Rancher, they're all the same thing. It's funny because if you ever play Monster Rancher, your monsters die. Anyways. Score Bunny. Huh?
No, just keep going.
Oh, Score Bunny. Score Bunny. What's your favorite Pokemon, JD?
Charizard.
Really?
Yes.
That's a good answer. It's funny because even though I said this before, even though I like the way a lot of starters look, I'm not a huge fan of almost all of their final versions. Am I alone in that? And it's funny because their baby versions exist so small of a time within the game. Like, I think in every game you only play for maybe like a handful of hours until they already evolve to the second one. And then usually by like the third or fourth gem or whatever that is comparatively to game time to any game, they've already evolved to the final one. And I always think that's weird. Oh, by the way, I found I swear this is accidentally. Like I was just scrolling through the pictures of Score Bunny and I found the Score Bunny hentai.
Right, Manuel, accidentally.
What's your favorite Pokemon, Nyaru?
Jirachi.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Jirachi's one of the psychic babies.
Mhm.
Everyone everyone makes fun of that too because like all usually all the mystic Pokemon, and it's funny because I'm sure somebody can tell me what the difference is. I don't really care, so go ahead and tell me if you want. But I like what the fuck is the difference between a mystic and a legendary? Because every so often I piss people
I
off by
have no
calling
idea actually.
yeah, like Jirachi. What the fuck is that? The fire one. What's the fire one called? Or is that
Etran?
the fire one? No, Victini is the one I'm thinking about actually.
Oh,
But Victini, Jirachi, fucking I can't think of all the other names off the top of my head. All the ones that look like Mew beasts. They all look like Mew. Um, those aren't legendaries. They're all mystics. And it always pisses people off when I call them legendaries. You should try that one day, Nyaru or JD. Like, if you ever want to piss off a true Pokemon
oh,
fan, go call Jirachi or Victini or all those little the Mew motherfuckers. Go call them legendaries and not mystics. I think Mew's a mystic too. He's not a legendary.
yeah. Manuel. It seems the
Yes.
distinction is that mythical Pokemon are only obtainable through events.
Oh, so that's why Mew is a mystic and not a legendary. Oh, okay. Why are they always psychic babies, and why do they all look like Mew?
You can't see
Anyway.
it, but I'm shrugging my shoulders.
Anyways, yeah, my favorite book. I'm always like on the fence about it, but I was a huge fan of Infern Infernape. Is that its
Yes,
final version called? Yes, the final version of Chimchar. It looks vaguely Sun Wukongish, and it's a fire ape. I think there's another fire ape, isn't there? There's an other
yes.
monkey that becomes either grass or fire.
Pan Seer.
Yeah, I think that one looks more Sun Wukong. Like they were trying to make that one Sun Wukong, but yeah, but I prefer Fernape. Um, it also has a very cool white and red color schemey type. Well, fire, I guess, but with a lot more white color scheme. Chimchar, fun fact, I'm not a huge fan of Chimchar. Chimchar is just kind of like stupid. Is that mean to call a Pokemon stupid?
Yes, Manuel.
Yes.
And I don't know if you knew this, Nyaru. There was a running theory that all the I did not know about this, by the way. I don't know how I never heard about this. That all the fire Pokemon starters were based off of the Chinese zodiac.
Hey, there's still
And
time for the new one to become a snake or a horse or something.
yes, that's what I'm saying. It's funny because everyone's like, "Why is this one a fucking gator? Why wasn't it a snake?" And I'm like, "We don't know." Like JD said, like it can evolve into fucking like what's that? What's that grass one that loses its limbs? It becomes like a
Oh,
grass snake. Snake.
not Viper. Yeah, it's Snivy, and I can't remember Superior.
Yeah, and then like when basically it has limbs, but then when it gets its final evolution, it becomes like a fucking Dratini looking thing. Like it becomes grass Dratini basically, and it loses its limbs. But oh, Pokemon evolutions are funny, aren't they?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm excited for the games. I'm excited for everything. Nyar, are you excited for
Mhm.
Pokemon Violet and Scarlet?
I am excited.
Do you watch the Pokemon anime?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't either. Everyone, because like the other half of the big news from the Pokemon event. By the way, all this came from a Pokemon event. The other half of the big news from the Pokemon event was that there's all this new anime coming out. They're gonna make an Arceus anime and some other shit that Ash is gonna be doing some more bullshit. I don't know, but I'm just like, I don't watch the anime. Who still watches anime? No one watches anime.
I
Also,
watch
Nyar,
anime.
I forgot. It's funny because in the DTL chat, which I guess JD has to see, but I just realized that you actually don't know about this. We did a DTL several years ago, and I don't know if Nyara has ever seen Code Geass. I said
Geass.
Geass.
Code
Okay,
Geass, Manuel.
I swear to God, it wasn't until I said it out loud because I said it in my head like that, but when I spoke it out loud, that I realized what that sounds like. I swear that
Yes,
would just be. I'm sure I'm not the first person who said that, who laughed about that. I was trying to pronounce it for real though. I just want to say that. But Code Geass. Have you seen it, Nero?
Nope.
I have.
Okay,
I
I've
don't
only
watch
heard of.
anime. Y'all should know that.
I've only heard. Well, you've seen Cardcaptor Sakura. I was talking to.
I'm talking about real anime.
Fun fact.
I've been.
Same character
I've been.
designers.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've been watching Cardcaptor Sakura finally, And like, but I'm a fucking China boo these days, so I've actually been watching the Chinese dub because I thought that'd be funny. And the original Card Captor for the first time ever, I've been finally watching it. And wait, what does that do with? Oh yeah, so it's been making me think about anime I want to watch. And don't ask me why this made me want to watch it. But there was a DTL several episodes ago, about a year ago, where Callie and like Pleiades and Molly were talking about Code Geass, and apparently like because I made some reference to like hitting my knee on a table or some shit like that, and
Oh, not
JD
table
probably already
poop.
knows I'm going.
No.
Huh?
No.
JD already knows I'm going with this. And like Callie and Molly and Pleiades started going on about this scene where this character
No,
basically
Manuel, no.
okay, I'll put it like this: the character gets friendly with the table. They're lonely, and I don't know what the preference. I don't know what the setting was, but they decide that hey, this table is gonna do things, and yeah, and it's funny because like I thought they were joking. I thought they were talking about something that they were just making up about because I hit my knee on the table, and they were talking about like oh yeah, and I'm like, what? And then like Pleiades or Callie started playing like the video of it. And I'm like, oh, is this a hentai? They're like, no, this is Code Geass. I'm
It's
like,
an
how
anime
is
about
that?
terrorism.
But yeah, Nyaru, um, one of the female characters masturbates with the corner of a table. There, I said it. In the
Okay.
anime.
Her name is Nina Einstein, just FYI.
Is it Nina Einstein?
Yes.
Her name is Einstein. I love it.
Yes.
But yeah, and for some reason, like I was like, "What is the anime where the tables involved?" And everyone's like, and it's fun. Actually, it's funny because I asked it in DTL chat, and like everyone kept telling me different anime, and it turned out that they weren't just like telling me different anime because no one knew it. They were just trying to get me to watch other shows. But anyways, yeah, everyone will go watch Code Geass. That might be my next anime to watch. I'm just curious. It also isn't that also a giant robot school people anime kinda? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's got robots in school.
Yeah,
And
it seems like the kind of anime that like at some point everyone watched. So I'll jump into one of those.
yeah, I know a couple people who absolutely love the series.
I did not know Clamp worked on Code Geass. That does not look like, or that does not sound like a Clamp show.
They only did the character designs.
Oh, so they're not the ones who wrote about the table.
No. No, but if you look at the character designs and then look at some of their like other works, you can definitely see in like the legs and stuff and the like stretchiness of the bodies, I guess, or the proportions of the bodies.
Fucking what's his name? When Ivan went to Level Up Expo this past weekend in Las Vegas, and it never ceases to amaze me that there's still like Chobits cosplayers. Have I missed? Is there a new Chobits anime or something out?
No.
Or does everyone just remember
No,
Chobits
I
from like?
think it's just everyone's having 2000s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just blew my mind. It blows my mind because I think to be fair, it's not like the first time I see a Chobits cosplay, but that's the weird thing. It's like you still see Chobits cosplays. And I think even Ren, just to throw it back to Ren again, Ren did a Chobits cosplay like right before the pandemic somewhere, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey,
Yeah.
there are probably a lot of good costumes for Chi, so
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah,
like
most
how there are a
Chobits
lot of cool ones
cosplays are
for
fine.
Sakura.
You can find them like super cheap.
Yeah, and also like just need those weird the ears where they plug into and shit like that.
Yeah.
I used to really love Chobits, and Chobits was also sorry, I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't want to make this a whole
Manuel,
Chobits
if you want to talk
conversation.
Clamp, just tell me when you want to do that, and I will talk
We should do a
Clamp with you
Clamp
for
one
2 hours.
because there's Chobits, there's Magic Knight Rares, there's
Card Captor
Angelic. Remember,
Sakura.
does anyone?
Angelic Lair, yeah.
I swear to God, I forgot Card Captor was Clamp. And I just watched that too. And I watched Magic Knight Rares recently. Well, not recently, but about within the past 2 years during the pandemic, I watched it.
There's
Yeah.
X, there's Holoc, there's Tsubasa.
Have you ever? Do you like Clamp, Nyaru?
Yeah.
I used to collect those chess sets, like the ones that Clamp, and I think I had a complete set, which unfortunately I should have kept because apparently it's worth a decent chunk of change if I'd sold the whole thing. And I think I threw away all. I have the set still, but I threw away all the manga that came with it, which I guess was like only with those sets. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, JD, but like, they were starting
No,
this
but
whole like,
I'm just getting mad at you. You can't see it. I'm doing my best
like
to contain my rage.
Like every 3 months or so, Tokyo Pop released, and this is how long ago this was. They would release this chess set. It was 3 figures, and one of them came with the board. 3 figures and a big manga thing. And like about 5 years ago, I was downsized, so I kept all the figures because I had a complete set, and I threw away all the manga and the packaging. And apparently, some of those sets that were like if I just left them unopened, even then, like a couple of them were worth several $100s because the last ones they only printed like hardly any of them. I'm an ass. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway,
Wrap it up, Manuel.
we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. Nyaru, what's new with you? We didn't talk about that earlier. What have you been doing the past couple weeks?
Um,
What are you doing soon?
I just released a course my cover during Valentine's Day. That was fun. Go check it out.
Oh, that was good.
I also did the Polish convention that I was talking about as well. That was really, really fun. And I hope I can go do another international con soon. I think that'd be super fun. And then I just hit 5K yesterday on Twitch while playing Cuphead. So thank you for that. And I have some cool things planned for Offkai Expo as well. Not only including a concert, but I'm also doing a panel about VTubing and idol culture, which a lot of people are apparently excited for. So I am very nervous about it. And I also have a collaboration during Offkai Expo as well regarding a merch item from which I cannot say more now, but hopefully once I get more details, I can let everyone know about that. And along going with 5K stuff, I'm gonna be doing a endurance karaoke where I sing every single AKB48 single from number 1 to 58th if it releases on time. if they show a preview of it before then, because they already announced the 58th single. And then I'm gonna be revealing my 2.0 concepts during that as well. So yes.
Nice. A lot's coming up with you. Jeez. Look at Nyaru. Like,
Hmm.
that's a lot of good stuff. By the way, I just noticed that Weston mentioned he DM'd me this for some reason, didn't put in the chat, that apparently theaters back in the day used to have soundproof rooms for kids. And I'm like, what theater and when? Maybe like in the 20s or the 30s. That feels like I don't know if I ever I mean that sounds nice, but that kind of feels like put them in the box. So yeah, even I'm not advocating for that. Anyways. That's all good stuff. I'm going to Offkai Expo. I can't wait. I just finalized our travel plans. Like, so I'm going there with a few people, like press wise.
Yay. I just got my
So
flight for it.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be real with everyone. And we've talked about this before in the past. Like, I was just a little iffy about like some stuff with the con. Like, nothing bad, but just like it's so last minute. I was like, do I want to go? But yeah, I decided I'm going for sure. So yeah. And we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll see Nyaru there. We'll probably interview Nyaru for some good content. We'll interview Nyaru.
Mm.
Maybe we'll do an IRL one, but we'll just film your hands or something weird like that,
No, you're gonna film me
like your
VTuber
gloved
style.
hands. Okay, well, we
No,
can do
you're
that
gonna film
too.
me VTuber style. I can edit the video for you.
I like how it's just like we'll do it that then. Yeah, and then we'll see. We'll try to like interview whoever we can because you're like one of the few people actually going. So
Mm.
because a lot of them,
I can
for
probably
obvious
get
reasons.
I can probably get you one more interview, but they're not gonna be there in person. But I'm pretty sure they would like to be interviewed anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about this then. Yeah, because we're already like
Mm.
looking at interview options, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun, and then we'll shake hands with you. We'll join your line and we'll shake your hand.
Yay!
Fun fact: I don't think I've ever shaken your hand, so that would be. I think that might be a first. So yeah,
I gotta work on my handshaking because I'm very aggressive.
you gotta be like what's the You've seen the King of the Hill episode where like Hank Hill shakes hands with George Bush and he's all like he had a limp handshake. Is that gonna be
Okay,
you?
Manuel.
Yeah, lamp handshake.
What are we doing this week?
Hey, I'm talking about Nyaru's limp. Nyaru needs a big Texas. Well, let's not get too much of Texas because Texas is being stupid right now.
Yeah.
But still, the good part of
Yeah.
Texas, like she needs a big
Yeah.
Texas handshake. We won't talk about the other bullshit. Anyways, uh, go look after your Texas friends if you have any friends like in Texas who are
Mhm.
parts of certain communities that might be targeted because it's ugly out there right now. Anyway, um. So yeah, we'll close it. I'll leave it there with that. I just don't want to get too negative. I don't want to close out with that, talking about that more. But look into that on your own. What's up with UPZ? Obviously, we're doing that. That's ending right now. Next UPZ, I want to do something. I want to have a fun topic, and I've been asking people to be on. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted Hina on this week, but then she's gonna be on DTL this weekend. But fun fact, Hina's gonna be on DTL, and so that I didn't know she'd be on both, so I just scheduled her for that. But I want to have more guests on. I did mention that because we came back from the year, I wanted some episodes that were just like a bit more low key and basic, so we can get back in the groove of things. I keep saying that all the time, but also because then things keep changing. Like Nyaru disappears for 3 episodes, so
Hey, all those times were not my fault.
yeah, they kind of they weren't. Um, but I think that one time you were like sick for real. So yeah, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, I
It's
was
fine.
sick for real, and then
It's
my
fine.
voice fucked up,
We'll
and
figure it out.
then yeah.
We'll figure it out. But anyways, we'll have some more. We have some more guests, like more scheduled guests. Yeah, now that I have some more ideas out there, and I've been asking people to be on DTL, so I've been opening up channels to people again because the part of the issue was it was just breaking the ice because there's people I haven't talked to in forever, and I feel weird just messaging someone out of the blue I haven't talked to for like 10 months to be all like, "Hey, you want to be on another podcast?" Which I guess is fair. Like, what's wrong with that? I'm not asking them for money, so I'm not asking them to join my MLM. Anyways, Hina's going to be on Doing Talk Learn. It's episode 64, which means we only have 6 of them left. Um, I will say now that this will be a much shorter episode, and JD's probably groaning, shaking his head because we always say that. But technically, it'll just be me, Pleiades, and Hina. Warren will be there, but he has to he's gonna come in, do his presentation, and leave. And I doubt Hina's gonna linger. Like, not just she won't stay, but I doubt she'll linger with the presentation. And mine is specifically made short, so I'm almost worried that unless we really fill the time, that we might have to pad it out a little. But then I don't think we have any problem with that. So yeah, it'll be an interesting
Hmm.
TTL. And then Friday, actually, no, we're not playing D&D this Friday, but tomorrow we are playing Wild Arms 2. And the next Tuesday, I promise you, I will eat. I will eat something spicy that will hurt me if I do not have a guest host, a third guest host for next week. It'll be a fun topic, a unique topic. Nyaru, think of something funny to talk about. Hurry up, right now.
No.
Something funny.
Poo poo pee pee.
Poo poo pee pee. We'll talk about poo poo and pee pee. The different. I'm not even
Mm,
joking with you. I could find somebody to talk about like poop and pee. You know how many times we've had these discussions on DTL?
many.
Man, you know how many times we've had these discussions on UPC?
Yes.
Many.
Okay, Manuel. Thank our patrons.
Thank you, Ed and Kenneth, the current patrons. Everyone goes to support us on Patreon. The site has a lot of cool shit on it recently. I've mentioned this. I mentioned this on not UPZ, but a couple streams of the past couple weeks. We've actually been updating the site like crazy, but nobody had access to the social media to put the articles, and there's even some unique stuff that's for reviews and shit like that. Oops. So we fixed that, and everything's getting more updated recently. So yeah, A to G is alive and together again. So yeah, everyone's doing shit. We have a new A to J hobby where people are making where Rose and hopefully other people eventually are building model kits, and we probably will have some specific Bandai partnerships in the future. So look forward to that. Not partnerships, but spon- sponsorship's the wrong word. We'll here review things. Cool. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. That's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Nyaru. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, JD. Poo poo pee pee.
Poo poo
Nyaru,
pee pee.
say something
Night.
funny.
Poo poo pee pee.